Good day, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a review on my Bauer M5 Pro goalie pads. I had gotten these probably 3 or 4 months ago, but because summer is kind of rolling around the corner and on the East Coast, hockey is slowed down quite a bit. But I've got probably 6 games on these now, and I feel like I'm in a good position to be able to give you a good review on my likes and dislikes and everything about these pads. So a little bit of history about myself. I started at a fairly older age. I think I was about 15 or 16 when I started. I got a used set of Reebok 8Ks, which is a blocking style goalie pad, which is kind of sort of the same idea as these Bauers. And then I eventually went into a CCM 500, which is an older version of my old 5.9s, which the reason why I have this here is because I like to do some comparisons to some of my older gear that I've used, so I have this here for that. And then I went into some SLR Pros, some Vaughn SLR Pros, which is almost the exact same idea as these ones. And then I went over to these 5.9s, and now I'm in my Bauer M5 Pros. One of the reasons why I did that is I changed my glove and block around to Bauer after trying a couple of different combinations, found out I like it, and I wanted to have a matching set. So now I have the Bauer Mock glove and blocker in all white, and I have the M5 Pro pads in all white. I didn't quite want to go with the Mock pads just because for the amount that I play, even in the wintertime, it's just not worth me having the pro level pad. Plus, I kind of like the way that these are made, which I'll get into that later as to why I chose these. So the first thing I want to talk about is the seal of these pads. The seal is immaculate. I haven't had any puck squeak under or anything like that, even if you lean on it. Because of the stability slide, which I'll get into here in a couple of minutes, the pad does not rotate. It's very good sealing going side to side. Even under here, it's a very good sealing pad. The outer edge, there's no when you're leaning on it, there's no gaps, there's no nothing. It's a great pad. Even up top towards the thigh rise, there's no issues on both sides. Rebounds is another thing. One big thing that I liked about rebounds in my 5.9s was that hard shots that gave out really good rebounds, soft shots that kind of didn't, they kind of killed rebounds. And that was kind of the thing that I liked about these pads of 5.9s. But as I broke in, I think just over a year and a half on these pads, but I played a lot of hockey in these pads and they've broken down and they don't really give much rebounds off anymore, even for really, really hard shots, which is something I really don't like. I really like to have a good rebound. That's kind of why I went over to the Bauers, because that's one thing that they're known for is rebounds. No matter what kind of shot you get with these Bauers, it kicks out the rebound really well. Something like this, any of these shots, the rebounds are crazy. It gives me plenty of time to be able to, shift over, or even if, there's plenty of traffic in front, it gives off a hard enough rebound that nobody, unless they have their stick down and it just happens to go right to them, they don't have time to react to the pad coming off, or to the puck coming off my pad, because it goes so fast, which is something I really, really like. Gives me more time to get set. And I like being able to, that's one thing that I find my game is actually pretty decent at, is deflecting pucks into the corner where I want them with my pad, stick, or glove, or blocker. And these pads, it's just so much easier to do it. With the CCMs, it was okay. But the Bauers, it's top notch, 100%, love it, works great. So the size, those are 33+1. That's kind of what fits me. The Bauers, these are small, so same thing, 33. I find the Bauers fit a little bit smaller than the CCM 33+1. The length of the pad and everything is the same, but it's just where the knee block is. It's minute difference, but the Bauers fit me a little bit better. I found the 33+1 in the CCM. My knee was on the lower half of the block. These ones, it's dead smack in the middle. It's great. So yeah, 33. If you're a 33+1 goalie, I would really look at the small, but maybe look at the medium, but the small was perfect for me. The slidability of these pads is something that's actually really impressed me, because with the speed skin of the CCM, I always really, really liked the slide. I never had an issue with it. Even, as these pads have broken down, There's no wear on the outside or anything like that. They slide fairly good, but I did start to put some silicone spray on there to try to get it to work a little bit better, because I find the slideability did kind of slow down a little bit on these pads, which, it is what it is. They get a lot of use out of them, so I'm not really surprised. The Bauers, they slide really well. It's kind of too early for me to tell if they're going to break down really fast or not. But as of right now, the sliding is great. And with that, because they have such a good seal and they're so stable, they slide really well. And I find I have a lot more confidence that I have as much coverage as possible. Now the thigh rise, the above the thigh is really thin. I'll bring her to the other side. So it's a very thin thigh, but it is stiff, and it kicks out really good rebounds. I got a couple of pucks up top, and the thigh does not bend in. It doesn't, if you're going side to side and you miss it with your stick, but it hits you right here, it's not going to bend in or anything like that, RVH or anything like that. It's crazy how stiff they are, but at the same time, how mobile you are, I guess, they're just a great pad. Like I said, the stiffness from pretty well the knee cradle up is great. There's no flex to it. So if you're more into a flexible pad like a CCM, then maybe not. But coming from those to those, it's a little bit of a transition. But I mean, it wasn't too bad, and I find that my butterfly is even better with these ones. The seal and the 5, everything is just a little bit better with these pads, I find. But yeah, thigh rise from the knee up, perfect. Not a lot of give to it, which is kind of what I like. And because there's not a lot of give to it, the rebounds are a lot more predictable. If I get a rebound up a little bit higher, they're easier to kind of deflect in the corners. Meanwhile, if I got a rebound up higher with these ones, I'd be kind of, not as confident as that they would be going into the proper spot that I want them, as if I was to use these ones. So the material of these, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what material these are. They say it is their Cortex skin that's on the sliding surface, and then I think it's just regular old Gem Pro on the face of the pad. My mock glove and blocker have that Cortex skin on it, and I don't think it's the same. I really don't. I think that this is just regular old Gen Pro, unless it's a different kind of Cortex. I really don't know. In my personal opinion, this does seem to be a little bit tougher. I know that newer Bauer stuff has had an issue with durability in the past, but this kind of reminds me of the material that is on Vaughn pads, like my Vaughn SLRs. They seem to be held up pretty good. It's a little too early for me to tell durability wise, obviously, because I only have about probably 5 or 6 games on these, but so far so good. The craftsmanship side of things, same as the CCMs. I don't actually know where these are made. I know there's a tag on here somewhere. Let's see what it says. Made in Thailand. There we go. So as far as the craftsmanship and everything is in great shape. There's no, other than a couple of, stray threads here and there. All the material is tight. There's no extra material. There's, sometimes you see these pads, especially with the glove and the blocker, they got loose material. Other than up here a little bit is the only spot that I've noticed that has a little bit loose. Everything other than that, everything is nice and tight. There's no, extra thread hanging out anywhere. There's no, the craftsmanship seems to be there. Everything seems to be tight. So good on Bauer for that. I still think that CCM has a little bit better quality from the factory for their lower level stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Bauer did a great job with that. Still in great shape. Like I said, other than just up here, that's the only spot that I've noticed that has a little bit of extra material to it. But like I said, it is what it is. So with the M5 Pro, which is the Supreme side of things, it's very, very stiff. It's not like the CCM pad where the whole thing has a stupid amount of flex to it, really flexible boot, flexible thigh rise, everything. These ones, they don't move. They're so stiff. Other than the boot, I find the boot's got a little bit of flex to it, so I'm still able to get a little bit of power on my T-pushes or slides or whatever. So if you're looking for a stiffer pad, these are definitely the ones. The Hyperlights, I do believe, I didn't really try the Hyperlights. They're a little bit more flexible, I think, but don't quote me on that because I can't really talk about those because I didn't really try them on or really look at them all that hard. Just because I wanted more of a stiff style, because, which is actually going to get me into my next point. With the CCMs, I found I was having issues with my stability because these pads, I'll try to do this with one hand, I'll lean them on here. The knee block and the part that you slide on, there's a lot of movement here. It's independent, it's sewn on to the face of the pad. So you can lean on these pads and really get them to rotate. And if you're kind of off balance or if you're kind of reaching for something, I found that I wasn't very stable and I would fall over easy. Or if I'm on really shitty ice or something like that, I'd catch a bad lip and then the pad would stop, but I would keep going kind of thing. The Bauers have something called Stabilislide. So the knee block is actually part of the core. So this is one piece. Like, it does not move. There's no give to it. There's a little bit of give on this side, but there is a pillow in here, a hard foam pillow that wraps around your leg. But this knee block, which is, it's nice and stiff. It's a little bit, I would like it if it was a little bit more plushy maybe, but that's, I mean, it is what it is. Stabilislide, it's very stiff, so I find that I'm very stable in net. When I'm going side to side or anything like that, I'm always up. I don't have any issues with falling over or feeling unstable, especially if I'm hugging the post or something like that, or if I'm doing like one leg up on the post and the other one you know, flat on the ice. I'm very stable. I'm not falling over or anything like that. That's one reason why I wanted these is the Stabilislide, because I wanted to feel a little bit more stable in that. And these Bauers definitely 100% deliver on that, which is, like I said, one big reason why I wanted these ones. The weight of these, actually, I weighed it with a little food scale. It's 4 pounds, 10 ounces per pad, which is fairly light. The CCMs, I just weighed them. They were 5 pounds, 6 or 7 ounces, I think, which is about a pound difference, which you wouldn't think is very much, but the first time I was on the ice, I really did notice how light these were and how much easier it was on my legs, especially in, you know, a tough game where my D can't seem to get the puck out of the zone and you're kind of going back and forth a lot. These pads, I find they're a lot more comfortable and user-friendly weight-wise. Now, I talked about boot flex, I got a little list here because I like to forget stuff. Stability, I talked about. The boot strap. Now, the strapping on these pads is the one thing I absolutely hate, and I'll show you. But these pads come with CRS, I think is what it stands for, CRS. Strapping system for the boot. This comes in a package with the pad. You don't have to have it on there. I did because I'm so used to having a boot strap. Now, I do have true skates, and it does have that Lundy strap on the back of the heel. That's where I put this through, only because the way that this is angled, if I was to put it through under my heel or in the middle of my foot, it would kind of be a little awkward, and I don't know if it would work very well. But this is a very stretchy, elastic strap. I do like it. Kind of keeps the pad more in place, and I'm good with that. So it does come with CRS. You can get longer ones of these. The kit, I do believe, comes with this strap and this strap that goes from the knee to either the knee to the outside of the knee or the knee down to the calf. I don't know if it comes with, I think it does come with another strap, but I'm not 100% sure what it's for. I didn't really look into it because I don't think I need it. But going on with the strapping and the thing that I really, really hate, and I'll show you. This pad, I have it set up as it was set up when it came, and this pad, I have it set up now the way that I like it. So I'll show you this one first. So you have you have this little strap here that just kind of holds everything together. It is non-replaceable. It's sewn in there. Then you have this strap that I already mentioned that goes from the knee block to either the outside of the knee or down. But these ones have this True Fit Plus system. That's a big strap that wraps around your calf, which is fine, which is great. Try to do this one-handed easy. There we go. So there is a little place for the strap to go here, and it is adjustable. There's 2 loops here. You can have it looser or tighter. My big issue with this is I find that this strap the strapping system on this pad is made for a pad with a deep boot channel that you can really sink your leg into. And when you close this, it kind of holds everything in place. This pad is not a deep channel pad to me. When I have this on, I have it as loose as it'll go, and I have it on there. I find that it's pinning my leg to the pad. I like a looser pad. I cannot stand pads being like, you know, like bolted to my legs. I need rotation. I need that little bit of free movement, and this True Fit system really prevents that from happening, especially with my knee pads, because I have Warrior Pro Plus knee pads. They're thicker knee pads. I find that it holds the pad too tight to my leg, and I don't get the proper rotation. I really do not like this setup, and I really wish that they would sell this with longer straps so you could have it bigger or smaller. Another thing I don't like is this place here where you put the strap. I find it's in a really bad spot, and if you have the strap half hanging on like that, you got the Velcro on the bottom that's rubbing on your foot or your leg, and I really don't like that. I really wish that they would kind of go back to, I think the 2X's had it, where they had I think it's called I don't remember what, I think it's called a cheater strap, I think. But there's a strap that the CCMs have it, and I'll show you, but it's got a strap that comes to here and it kind of wraps around on the outside, and it holds the top of your calf in place and it helps with rotation. I really wish that this pad would have that and not this whole strap that holds it all together. Like I said, this is made for a deep pocket pad. This is, or a deep channel, leg channel pad. This is not a deep leg channel pad in my personal opinion. So, which brings me to my next point. I'll throw this against my cat tree for a second. This is how I actually have it set up now. So, these straps are supposed to come with 3X and Vapor, I think, and ultrasonic. But when I ordered these from the hockey shop, these actually came in the box, and it took me a long time to figure out what it was for, because it just didn't fit anywhere, because these weren't made for this pad. So I did some searching and some thinking, and I came up with this, and this is what I really, really like, and this is how I'm going to stick with it. Now, before I show you this, one more thing. With the True Plus system, I actually took it off because, like I said, it was holding the pad too close to my leg. So I just had this off. This was gone. This I found was really annoying when you don't use it, because it usually falls in here and it rubs on your leg. But if, like, you get used to it, I guess, which I'll show you in this pad. Anyway, so I had just this strap over here, and it was really, really loose, and I was actually falling off of the knee cradle, so I put it to here, and it kind of fixed it a little bit, but it was still a little too loose for me, so I came up with this. These were in the box. Technically, I could have just thrown these out because these aren't made for these pads, but I came up with something. So, this strap was originally from here to either here or here, but I put it, get rid of this strap here. I put it to the first loop of where that tune fit whatever system was supposed to go. And now I take this and I wrap it around to here to hold my calf in place. This plate in here, the annoying plate, I fold it down. And once you actually fold it down and get your leg in there, it doesn't really move. It's still a little annoying, but you can deal with it. This strap, I close it like normal. And this has a buckle and Velcro to it. And there's no elastic part of it. It's not very elasticy other than right here. That's the only really elastic part of the whole thing. So I have the knee obviously I put it on. I have this and this, which keeps it loose, but this keeps my knee in place on the pad when I'm stretching or anything like that. My knee does not fall off. There's still a little bit of stretchiness there, but I keep this loose enough that I still have some pad rotation. This keeps my calf in place, and this kind of wraps everything together. That, with the CRS system and my custom toe ties. The toe ties that come with this, I didn't really like them. They're really thin. I didn't find they would last very long, which I'll go to in a minute. This, and this. The way that I have it right now reminds me a lot of my SLR or even my CCM, which I'll show you in a second. This is the way I like to have it So it's kind of sad that I have to use something that's not designed for this pad in order to make it work, but it is what it is. They happen to come with it in the box, and I was just screwing with it one night, came up with this, tried it the next day, and it worked perfect. So this is the way I have it. Just be aware, if you like a looser pad, the Tune Plus Fit system, I don't like it. You can take it off and you can do something. Maybe try this. You know, you can get CRS straps in larger, so you can have a larger strap here, a larger strap there, and I think there's another strap, but I'm not exactly sure where it goes. That might work for you too, so keep that in mind. The toe bridge, it is kind of sort of offset. You can have your toes whichever you want it. I like to have it in the middle with my armor laces. They stretch a little bit, so you can have it here, but I prefer it here. This is sewn into the pad. It is not mechanically attached with 2 screws, so keep that in mind. If you get a puck and it rips off, you might have to do some sewing in order to get that back on. So back to the CCM for a second. When I say a deep channel pad, this is what I mean when I say a deep channel pad. It kind of looks the same, I understand that, but this feels like a deep channel pad because my leg actually sinks into it, and there's no space between my calf and the actual front of the pad. Meanwhile, Bauer, I find that there's a lot of space between my calf and the pad. So this system is what I was talking about. Velcro. Okay. Velcro, good shape on these pads. This is CCM's quick motion strap. It is adjustable, but it only straps to the back of your calf, and you can have this really loose. So this pad, I can have it loose on my leg. That's the way I like it. So that's what I mean when I say the QR, the Fit Plus system. I really don't like it. It's too tight on my leg. So yeah, that's about all I have to say. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, just put it in the comments and I'll try to answer as best I can. Oh, one more thing. The outer edge here, it is not square. It's kind of chamfered off a little bit. I find I like that. It gives it a little bit less weight, obviously, but it also kind of gives it a little bit more predictable rebound. If the puck was to hit here, it almost forces it down towards the ice instead of going up. Like here, that if it hits here, it's kind of, you know, it can go up, in, out, whatever, especially if it hits this part right here or even this part right here. It could go up and in the net, or make this, if it hits right here on this edge, it could, you know, bounce whichever way it wants to. I find here it's a little bit more predictable, so if it hits anywhere near here, it's going to go down. If it does hit here, it will go up, but because this is a lot harder of a foam, it kicks off a larger rebound, so it will, you know, travel a little bit further. So that's pretty much all I got to say about it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, certainly put a comment down in there. I did make this review because there are a lot of video reviews on the M5 Pro, but I find there's not a lot of reviews of people that actually get to use them. There's all the reviews that I see are from like hockey stores and stuff like that just talk about the random features. They don't actually talk about how the pad performs, honest reviews about the strapping and everything like that. So that's why I made this review, to give somebody a helping hand if they do want new pads. Maybe they're in the 5.9 or CCM and they want something a little bit more stiffer. You know, they'll watch this video and say, okay, well, you know, this guy did it, well, maybe it's good. Certainly worth taking a look at for the price of pretty well $1,000 Canadian. I really like them. They're nice and light, very mobile. It will take a little bit to get used to, just because they're not as flexible as like a CCM or even a Vaughn, but you know what, it might be worth checking out. So that's that. Like I said, if you guys or girls, any questions, comments, concerns, don't be afraid to put them in the comment section. I will certainly try to help. Anyway, have a good day.